Boy, they weren't expecting this. Little do they know that they're be getting it much sooner than they bargained for, but not in the way that they actually planned. In fact, Russia and China just pushed the button on the Great Reset, and the West is in deep, deep trouble. I'm going to go through all of the latest data that's out this morning and a bunch of news for what's in store for us in a moment. Some of it's actually pretty jaw-dropping, and there's a lot to cover. But first, did you know that we're at war with China? Oh, yeah. According to our members of Congress who just got back from Taiwan yesterday, we're at war with China. So we better get prepared. Here's Representative Tony Gonzalez, who just returned from Taiwan, where we just sent a whole bunch of weapons.
My first question is for you, General. I just got back from a trip from Taiwan. It's the second trip to Taiwan in the past 14 months. I spent 20 years in the military, as my good friend August Pfluger pointed out, our chairman pointed out. I know what war looks like. We're at war. I mean, this is a war.
What the hell? I mean, really? So who the heck voted for a war against China? Did you? I didn't. Do these people even understand what they're saying? The deep state is actively pushing for war with China as the U.S. dollar continues its downward spiral. Did you hear about the runs on the banks on Friday? Yeah, banks collapsing, people losing their money in the banks in the United States.
Yesterday, some of the biggest banks in this country, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, Morgan Stanley, collectively lost more than $50 billion in market value in one day.
Here's Representative Chris Stewart this week calling for the abolition of the one China policy, meaning Taiwan is not part of China anymore, and that's enough to provoke China into a war with the United States that we will not win. Watch this.
Times are different now. If we're going to deter, I think we have to be clear in saying, yes, we will defend Taiwan militarily if we have to.
Well, this is all happening for a reason. They're scared shitless about what Russia and China are doing, which is building an economic behemoth that the West cannot compete with. Get ready for war. That's what a top U.S. general is now telling his troops, to get ready for war by the year 2025. General Minihan sent a letter to his troops telling them, hey, you better get ready. Now, even before we blew up their natural gas pipeline, they were building that coalition to dethrone the United States' dollar dominance. And historically, the way that we deal with people like this is we threaten war, and we actually try to destabilize these countries through regime change and sanctions, like we're doing in Ukraine right now to Russia. And now we're about to do the very same thing in Mexico. Earlier this week, Mexico announced its intent to join Russia and China as part of the BRICS nations. Holy crap! Our neighbor Mexico, the country we've been exploiting for years, a country we invaded and took their land in the 1840s, they finally had enough of our bullying garbage and is starting to stand its ground, wants to align their currency and trade with China and Russia.